Hello to my Aquas. Hello to my Aquarius. Aquarius's reading is for the 29th. The 22nd of August through the 29th of August. I think it's probably time for me to remind you all about the power of the water bearer. Okay, Aquarius. So yes, let me remind you of the power of the water bearer and what it symbolizes. It's usually depicted as a figure pouring water from a vessel. You all are an air sign, right? Moving from your heart chakra, right? And always trying to make a connection, Aquarius, before we jump into your reading. And we're going to just dive right in. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. And this is going to try to help you stay on track, to keep your vibrations very, very high as you're closing out a cycle. Today is the last day for this cycle as you're closing it out. So thank you for joining me, and congratulations to those of you all who I've had an opportunity to meet by phone when you've taken my free tarot card reading class. And so I will announce classes, the upcoming classes. They won't be free, but they will be significantly discounted for this community here. So, but yeah, let me remind you of the Aquarius's power, right? Water, the vessel, it's a figure depicted as a figure pouring water from a vessel. What's being poured out is not literal water, but rather a symbolic stream. What it symbolizes is life force. That's what's being poured out of this vessel. Life force, spiritual nourishment. It symbolizes innovation and ideas. You're an air sign, not a water sign, despite the imagery. And the water often symbolizes the spread of ideas, enlightenment, and progress. It also symbolizes healing and renewal. The poured water is also seen as cleansing, bringing renewal and healing to the world, Aquarius. It's also a connection and community. So since Aquarius is associated with collective well-being and humanitarian ideals, the water bearer pours out sustenance for all, representing generosity and universal connection. So the Aquarius water bearer is essentially pouring out wisdom, enlightenment, and spiritual nourishment for humanity. So when you think about you being an Aquarius, think about that. Think about that. High vibrating Aquarius are innovative, independent, visionary. Low vibrating Aquarius are detached, unpredictable, and aloof. All right, let's get it. Let's get right into it. It's the last day of the cycle, and the moon, I believe, is in Leo. The colors and Leos are ruled by the sun, right? Leos and Cancers are the only two signs that are not ruled by planets, right? And your sign is ruled by two planets, Uranus and Saturn, which are two outer planets. One of your ruling planets, Saturn, is retrograde right now, right? So you really want to slow down, and you really want to not only set boundaries, but you want to enforce those boundaries, right? You want to set and enforce boundaries. Your sign rules 11th house, right? Find out what your zodiac sign is for your 11th house. 11th house is a house of friendship and community. It's the house of hopes and wishes, friends, allies, teamwork, and also common goals. So set very clear boundaries. Set very clear boundaries. And a way to do that with your friends and allies is be very clear. If there's some people, I heard someone say the other day, and I'm not going to ramble on, that if somebody asks somebody for a ride, right? This person was online and they were saying if somebody asked them for a ride and they decide to bring other people along, they're not giving any of them a ride. Basically, if one person says, hey, can you give me a ride? And that person knows that person, they trust that person, they say, okay, yeah, you can get in my car. That's overstepping a boundary to bring other people along. You're basically assuming, hey, okay, well, they're with me. No. You didn't get somebody's permission. This is overstepping a boundary here. That would be an example of that. Just to assume that it's okay to overstep a boundary, right? And so you all were being ruled by Saturn. Saturn is a karmic planet, right? No. It's not okay to just overstep boundaries. Saturn is a traditional planet. It's a very serious planet, and you're ruled by that planet. That's one of your ruling planets, Saturn. Saturn and Uranus are your ruling planets, and Saturn is retrograde. Saturn is the planet of authority and maturity. It's a planet of concentration, right? It actually impresses us with clean lines and cool dignity. It suggests containment and restraint. So in our chart, Saturn is serious and formal, honoring traditions, limits, and rules. It's associated with the day of the week, Saturday, right? It connects us with the colors black, gray, dark brown. It's all about concentration, limits. It's very serious planet. It's formal. It's traditional. It has rules, hard work, maturity, responsibility, dignity, patience, structure, and order. That is how serious Saturn is. It's currently retrograde. Slow down and recognize as a humanitarian, if people are overstepping boundaries, you need to enforce them in love, right? It's the World card. So if you feel fulfilled without certain energies in your space and you close out cycles in love, people will see a difference. They will see a huge difference in your personality. Yeah, so I will not wait for today to be a good day. I will make today a good day. I love this. I will make today a good day. All right. All right, Aquarius. Yeah, so at the bottom of the deck, a breakthrough for you. Yeah, a breakthrough for you. That's right. You have total clarity. You have total clarity. Some people, you're going to start seeing a shift when you are clear. When you are clear about your heart. When you have said you've forgiven energies and you are very, very clear, your forgiveness is for you. It's not for other people. You're not holding a grudge, none of those things, but you're very clear that some boundaries were crossed. So when you're closing out cycles, you close out cycles in love. You're a humanitarian. You being in a good mood should not allow energies to come back into your space because they're like, oh, they're in a good mood now. So, okay, let's forget. Hopefully they forgot. No, you've forgiven. You've forgiven, right? You have forgiven. You haven't forgotten anything. You've forgiven. And you're not holding on to any grudges, right? So yeah, you will not wait for today to be a good day. You make every day a good day. Current situation, yeah, you're not going back to being confused. This is 9. This is the year of 9. Yeah, year of 9, right? So something about your energy, I love this. Something about your energy, Aquarius, feels very much like an energy who is optimistic, freedom-loving, and intellectual. And that's what people are getting when you, Aquarius, close out cycles in love and you look back, you take that one last look back, you're not confused. You close out cycles in love, you've enforced the boundary. You're not being tactless, restless, or irresponsible. You took one last look back. And people are like, oh, they're in such a good mood. You know how, let me see. And I've heard some of you all say this in some of the comments that you make. Someone make reference to some things that you all have said while I'm channeling these messages. I've seen some of the comments that some of you all have said in comments, and some people that I've actually talked to, where people don't actually offer you a direct apology for what they've done to you. They'll actually offer around it. Like, they may not apologize for doing something like stealing your lunch out of a refrigerator at work, right? They may say, oh, you want to go to lunch? Or, you know, like never a direct apology for what they've done to you. Just kind of like this is their way of apologizing for burning you or doing something to you. And so, but you're not confused. You're not confused. A boundary was overstepped. A boundary was overstepped. Yeah. So, yeah, you ended something and you're not going back. You're not going back. They can be confused because they're around other people who do the same thing to them, but you're not confused. You're not confused. That's a current situation. Some people are wondering why you're not coming back. Coming back to what? Confusion? Not doing that. What's a blockage? Yeah. What could be a blockage? Yeah. Nothing. Yeah, you're protecting your peace. So 2 speaks to, it could speak to second house, right? 2 could speak to a second house. So second house speaks to the physical, could speaks to like possessions, money, finance. Could be like your worth, your value, material possessions. It can even be like your kids. It could be like if you have 2 kids, another side of the family could be like, well, if they want to have access to their 2 kids, they're going to have to deal with all of us instead. Or if they want access to such and such, they're going to have to deal with all of us, take all of us. Or if they want access to such and such, not even the other side of the family, if they want access to such and such, they're going to have to deal with all of us. Not necessarily. If a boundary was crossed and people are not being direct, then no, you don't have to. So you don't have any blockages. You can calm your anxiety down right there. Yeah. Remember, water is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds it. So you don't have to be around certain people in order to, sources saying you've already taken your water somewhere else to protect your peace, whoever you are. That could mean that you moved to a new job. That could mean that you just moved to a new floor in your company. You don't necessarily have to go downstairs. If you moved up or downstairs in your department, you don't have to move up or down. I mean, go downstairs or upstairs to go reconnect with certain energies. You can tell your colleague, the ones that you still connect with, hey, you and I can go to lunch. You don't have to hang around. Again, you're enforcing a boundary. Your next door neighbors, you can say, hey, listen, you and I wait until you and I can go to lunch or whatever, dinner or whatever, just the 2 of us. Just the 2 of us. You are enforcing a boundary. If it's whoever it is, if they're an adult, it's up to them. It's up to them. Things don't have to spill over. Things don't have to spill over. 9 and 2 is 11, and your actions are enlightening energies. Your actions are enlightening energies, right? That you are a humanitarian, right? Remember that water is innovation, ideas, healing and renewal. It's life force, spiritual nourishment, connection, community. Yeah. So let's see. What about the distant past? What about the distant past? What about the distant past for my Aquas? What about the distant past? Okay, I saw that 10 of Pentacles there. So something about a perfect, image of something. Something about a perfect image of something. That's in the past for you. That's not a secret. There's no such thing as a perfect. You have psychic gifts. You know who's wearing a mask. You're not being pulled down to a lower frequency. That's not a secret. Like something is not a secret. It's like basically like you're not pretending that everything, like a light. Remember, okay, I want to say Mercury is post shadow retrograde, right? It was retrograde in Leo, right? Mercury actually went retrograde a couple of times so far. I'm going to say once or twice so far. Right, I want to say it went retrograde the first time, March 15th, and then went retrograde on July 18th until August the 11th. It's going to go retrograde again in November, but I want to say it's post-shadow retrograde right now. But it went retrograde in Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun, right? Cancer is ruled by the moon, right? And so some of you all may have a moon sign of Cancer here, right? And so Source is saying to you, listen, once you know how to pour into yourselves, whatever your moon sign is, it doesn't have to be Cancer, whatever. Once you know how to pour into you, somebody has a lot of psychic gifts, meaning that you could have a gift of astral projection, past life regression. You can know how to remote viewing. You could have had a near-death experience. All of these things that I talk about on my channel, all these things that I do in my personal readings, one-on-ones, right? So all of this, you could have the gifts of all the clairs, clairvoyance, cognizance, sentience. You have premonition, precognition, deja vu, telepathy, and all forms of telepathy. You can have a lot of gifts, right? And so you're not wearing a mask. You're not wearing a mask. No, you're not wearing a mask. If a boundary was crossed, the boundary was crossed. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to pretend. Yeah, you don't have, like I said, you're a humanitarian. I feel like somebody is in really good, high vibrating. This is the energy that I'm picking up from somebody. So if your neighbor has done something offensive to you, they can come to you one-on-one and say, hey, let's just talk. Let's have a conversation, right? So nothing is standing in your way, whoever you are. You're at peace. You're protecting your peace. This is 2. And so you can say deuces to anything that's connected to trying to disrupt your peace, right? Something, see this line right here? Emotion in earth right here. Something has crossed over a line, right? So no, right? So yeah, so you've had an awakening. See these two snakes right here on this medical symbol here, and you all know what that is called, right? So it symbolizes duality, right? So it symbolizes duality. What you come in contact with is the duality of an energy that is confident, charismatic, and generous, but also has shown you a side of arrogance, stubborn, and being domineering. And so Source is saying to you, you're leaving all of that in the past. You're leaving that in the past. So, all of that based on a lie. Something that was some lies about you in the past. So, yeah. You were in the past, you may have gone along with the flow, but not today. Yeah. Yeah. So here we have the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah. You're not trying to come across. Somebody has an ancestor here. This could be somebody's grandmother who transitioned or passed over. Right here. Somebody could have twins in their family. We have these 2 dogs here. That could actually be, sometimes twins are not like identical twins. They could be fraternal twins, right? Something about your energy, twin flame energy, right? You're whole and complete by yourself. You may have a twin here on planet Earth. You may have a twin here on planet Earth, but it's really, really rare. You have a twin here on planet Earth. But something about your energy, knowing who you are, the duality of yourself, and saying and being open and honest about the duality of who you are. You're not trying to come across as perfect. That's already shattered, right? But this energy right here is like you see in this, on this card, which this illustrator did an excellent job with this. There's a lot of growth in knowing all sides of you, right? There's a lot of growth in knowing the duality of you as a humanitarian, right? So that you don't necessarily have to say, that's how you extend grace, because you rise above judgment of others, right? This is right here. You're your own twin. So saying you know the duality of yourself, right? So this is, you see all of this growth here in this here. Something may have taken you 10 years to learn about yourself. Something may have taken you 10 years to learn about yourself, about what that water pouring out of that vessel actually means. Again, it's what it symbolizes. Pouring out of wisdom, enlightenment, spiritual nourishment for humanity. Something may have, that's the secret that was uncovered, the duality for you, right? And some energy trying to drag you down to like the lowest of low, but what it really exposed was them. It really exposed them. It shined a light on the duality of themselves, right? So yeah. So when energies try to make you feel like you are the shadow to their light in a relationship and say, oh, we're twin flames. Soulmate could be kindred spirits. Maybe y'all travel lifetime, but they're not the same. They're not the same. Right? Any energy that has to look at you as if you are a shadow to their light. What's hidden, the secret that's hidden in this is 2 and 5, right? So Taurus rules 2 and 7. Taurus rules 2nd house. Libra rules 7th house, right? Taurus and Libra are ruled by Venus. Venus is the goddess of love, pleasure, art, music, aesthetics, right? Right? But on the dark side of Venus, it can be vain, vengeful, and green with envy, right? Not to say that that's anybody that you encounter, but some things are changing for you. Sources are basically moving you from one table to the next. This could mean like you're moving from one department to the next department. Like somebody is getting promoted, in other words. And source is saying because you're whole and complete, you may even start noticing energies are attracted to your water. Like they're attracted to your water because you're actually moving. Your water is moving. Because you know that you're whole and complete. You've accepted duality of yourself. Like you accepted all parts of yourself. Somebody has gone around that wheel, that 1st house through your 12th house, right? Yeah, right here. Something has come full circle for you. Something has come full circle for you, right? Yeah, so today is a good day. You don't need to make it. You don't need to wait for somebody else to make it a good day. You're not waiting for someone else to make it a good day. You make it a good day. I hope this is helping someone to understand. This is your strength here. This is a strength for you here. Somebody has a lot of gifts. This is a lot of cups here. Lot of cups here. You could have had a near-death experience, which is, again, a psychic gift. You hear people on these, like a lot of TV shows that feel like, okay, they were in a coma, or they had, may have died when they were younger. They may have heard stories about maybe they almost died in the hospital, maybe have ingested some kind of poison and they had to have their stomachs pumped or something when they were kids. Died in the hospital, had a near-death experience. So many things have happened to somebody that you can speak to your past lives. Something has come full circle for you, and your ancestors are telling you, sharing these things with you, that you are whole and complete as you are. That's why you see these two colors, these variations of gray here, right? And what did I say about Saturn? Your Saturn return. What did I say about the colors associated with Saturn, right? Your Saturn return. Right? Black, gray, brown. These dogs. Black, gray, brown. That's your Saturn return. That's a secret. You have returned to yourself. Like somebody has returned to pure consciousness. All right. That's your strength. You have returned to pure consciousness. So when I say gifted and talented, that's an understatement. That is an understatement. So you don't have to return to confusion about people overstepping boundaries. What about near future for my Aquarius? What about near future for my Aquarius? Yeah, a lot of people are talking. A lot of people are talking. Here's the 5 of Wands. A lot of people are talking about you behind your back. Because a lot of you all are star seeds. See these stars here? A lot of you all are star seeds. A lot of people are secretly talking about you behind your back. But guess what? A lot of you all have spiritual ears where you can hear things, right? I would strongly suggest, let me say this to you all too. I would strongly suggest if you hear things you're not running. I know people y'all know when you hear people say, I know people are talking about me behind my back. Like, who's talking about you behind your back? What are they saying exactly, right? So keep a journal. Just keep a journal because you'll get a lot of downloads through your dreams, daydreams, night dreams, those kind of things. But you don't have to wait for any day to be a good day. You know, you're making it a good day just based on a lot of gifts that you've inherited. You've inherited a lot of gifts. Some of you all have had near-death experience. You've been in car accidents. You've been in a lot of things. You know, maybe you had a surgery. Maybe it was some kind of induced coma or something. And you feel like, okay, was I tripping here? Until you watch a YouTube video from possibly somebody with a doctorate degree that says they had one, and you like, okay, I can connect with that. I know I wasn't going crazy. Maybe it took somebody with, degrees or something for it to be real, but it wouldn't make it it wouldn't make a difference if they had degrees or not. Your experience is your experience. So yeah, near future, a lot of people are talking about something. Something within 10 months for you is changing significantly. It's changing significantly. So I love it. Yeah. All right. You learn how to save yourself. You learn how to save yourself. You didn't wait for somebody to save you. So somebody could have love coming across their path. And so people are talking. People are talking about you behind your back. And I'm saying in a good way. So whereas people in the past were talking about, we got to go save Aquarius, please. We got to go save Aquarius. Now people are saying, no, we want to date Aquarius. That person is a person who believed in a dream. They kept their vibration high, whoever you are. If you decided, hey, I said I want to live in that neighborhood, in that cul-de-sac, with that house, with those houses around in that particular neighborhood, and you said, okay, my bank account don't say that, but I'm moving by faith and not by sight. And God said, okay, all right, bam, there you are. And that's where you are. And people are like, okay, now how did they make that happen? People lied about you behind your back. They talk, chatters, gums just are flapping, just talking, right? And guess what? Somebody felt like they needed to save you. You believed in a dream. Whatever it is, even if you started a business, some of you all started a business, some of you all believed that you could make it to the next floor in your department or your business, and you apply for leadership positions. People were like, they never gonna make that position. Guess what? You did it. You did it. You believed in a dream. You believed in a dream. So keep dreaming. You learn how to save yourself, and people are talking. You are inspiring people, and I'm saying in a big way. Some of you all have opened storefronts, and people thought, no, that's never gonna work. That's never gonna work. They done lost their mind. That store it's gonna be a flop in 5 years. Grand opening, grand closing, as the comedian said. I think they're comedians in Aquarius. Grand closing. Guess what? That store is still flourishing. Okay, that was cute. They started a business. That business is going to be grand opening. It's going to be a grand closing. That's going to end. It's going to fizzle out. But here you are. You're not going back. If anything, things about to get much better for you because you learn how to save yourself, and you're inspiring other people to do the same for themselves. Right? Recall your energy, harm to none. You have no harm to no one. That's the secret. You're not wearing a mask. You're whole and complete. You are who you are. So, what about the influences on you? What about the influences on my Aquarius? And how they affect the situation? What about the influences on my Aquarius source and how they affect the situation? Yep. So you could have some strong energies in your family who maybe wore their heart on their sleeve. Some people who were strong enough. I feel like some people had some pioneers in their family. Whether it was your church family, mosque family, temple family, whether it was just work family, blood relative family. Y'all know what I'm saying. Blood family, family, whatever you deem as family, friendship group, whoever influenced you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. It could have been a lot of people, right? Teachers, whomever, because it takes a village. Whoever you had around you who inspired you to link up with them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. We're all out here inspiring each other. That's the secret. We're all out here inspiring each other in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So you don't have to wait for today to be a good day. You're making it a good day. Everybody's inspiring everybody in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? So put on your gold color today. Put on your white today. You feel whole and complete, fulfilled. Yeah, when boundaries have been crossed, enforce those boundaries in love. And something about your energy is very regal. People know it. You don't have any competition. Nobody else has any competition either. All right. What about, let's see. Yeah, something about your energy is very confident. It is charismatic. It's very generous. When people leave your presence, they feel inspired. They feel willful. They feel more confident. They feel significant when they leave your presence. That's the secret. The way people feel, they believe in themselves when they leave your presence, whoever you are, Aquarius. So that's why when you remove yourself from a situation, some people take it as a personal dig and they tell lies about you behind your back because they believe, okay, they're not coming back, so I got to say something. And they just take it to the extreme, right? But there's some people from your past who actually speak very highly of you. And it's like, you know what, they gave me some words of wisdom that I can hang on to, right? To learn how to save myself. To know that I'm strong. I have a lot of inner strength. And that's what people are seeing from you. You have a lot of inner strength. Yeah, so keep up the good work. Whoever you are, keep it up. What about the, how other people and their energies impact your situation? Yeah, you all are the kind of energies, like I said, your stars shine bright. You can cheer for people. You all cheer for people, whether you're sitting in the audience or whether you are the one on stage, right? And so, yeah. You see things from a higher frequency. You are balanced out within. There is no competition. There is no competition. None whatsoever. And that's the secret. There is no competition. So like I said, it's a waste of energy for anybody to see you as competition because you don't see them as competition. So if one of the things I'm kind of sort of picking up from somebody is if you left a department, if you left a job, even if other people are saying, oh, you're doing a better job than an Aquarius, you've already moved on. You feel fulfilled anyway. So, I mean, you could be picking up energy of what people said about you. I mean, and so what? If you moved on, even if it's a step parent involved or something, and somebody's saying, oh, you're a better person, hey, you've already moved on. I mean, you've already completed whatever task. You feel fulfilled. Again, you moved on, meaning that your presence has not been forgotten in any way, shape, form, or fashion. That's the secret. There is no competition. You see things from a higher frequency. Yeah. So to even talk about it, it actually exposes. Remember, Saturn is a karmic planet, right? And it will expose, it'll push a mirror back to whomever else about it'll show their insecurities more than yours, because I don't even think you all are giving any air to it. So yeah, you saved yourself a fight. You saved yourself a fight by even moving on. You spoke something. You already know something. So you're not, your wishes are being fulfilled. You've already moved on from something. So you ain't arguing about nothing. All right. What about the hopes and fears? What about hopes and fears for my Aquarius? Hopefully this is making sense to you all. Yeah. You're hoping to keep cold-hearted spirits out of your life. You're keeping it out of your business. Keep it out of your life. If people are that cold to wish to see you out on the street, to see, they got that kind of a spirit to want to see you, sad and hurt. They're showing you that they're secret enemies. Like I said, 2 and 5, a 7. some energies are showing you that they're secret enemies. These are receiving energies. Why would you receive that type of energy into conversation, into that portal? Why would you receive it into your home? Why would you receive it over the phone? Why would you receive it in any way, shape, form, or fashion once it has already been exposed? Why would you receive it? It's already crossed the line. So why would you receive it? You're not going back. You're already aware of something. Once you receive that your neighbor has a secret disdain or hatred for you, Source is saying, why would you go back and link up? That's number 9. You're already number 9, right? Number 8 is linking up. Something has already ended, right? Why would you link up? Just because you're pouring out to the world because they were confused. You know who you are. You are a humanitarian. That's what that vessel is for. That's what that cistern is for, pouring out. It's not water. It's symbolized, but it's spreading of ideas, enlightenment, and progress, right? You're not in a fight with yourself. You're whole and complete. Like I said, there's no competition. You're not in competition with yourself. You're not battling your own duality, right? You could have high vibrating Leos in your family that you learned from when you were a kid, right? Somebody could have a high vibrating Leo in their family. And y'all know what I'm talking about, high vibrating Leos. They watch over you like, they could watch over you like a lion would, like a lion with their cub. Like they could have those very piercing eyes that watch over you like a lion. Like if somebody says babysit or watch Aquarius, they could watch over you like a lion with a cub, right? And something about your energy could be that way as a humanitarian. Like you watch over, and Leo's rule 5th house. You could be the type of energy that kind of sort of watch over, you know, humanity that way. You could see things from a higher frequency. And so anybody coming across your path, like, well, wait a minute, hold on, you don't know that part about them. They really cool, they real down to earth, you know, so on and so forth. No, they not like that. They such and such and such and such. Like, again, somebody coming in, seeing you as competition, whoever this is, your colleagues, your next door neighbor, they the ones that's lost. You don't have to go back to linking up with anybody. I'm telling y'all, Aquarius, you don't even have to pretend. You don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to, I'm telling y'all, you don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to pretend. Keep that out of your space. Keep it out of your space. Because these energies, whoever these energies are, want to see you out of your home, Aquarius. They want to see you out of your home. Straight on the street. Icy cold, right? So, no. Keep on vibing high. Keep vibing high. If somebody is a prayer warrior, that's the next step. That goes to your 1st house. Somebody had a first impression of you. Somebody energies want to end you. This last right here speaks to the last house, your 12th house, right? Some energies wanted to end you. They want to make it seem like you had a temper, like, you know, put you in a wilderness situation. So some energies could end you. Have you out in the cold, like, come on now, no. Oh no, you're operating in the spirit of love. So what's the outcome? What is the outcome? What is the outcome, Source? Yeah, you're making a decision. What did I say? Twin flame. This is coming across your path. That's the decision. Source made the decision for you. This death card. Something has already ended. Something has already ended. Death card. You got to remember before, your light should not irritate anybody's demons. I'm telling you. Remember, you and Capricorn actually share the world card, right? Their card is the devil card. Your light, you operating in confidence, you operating in, and remember, the Mercury was retrograde in Leo, right? Remember I told y'all Mercury was retrograde in Leo, right? On August the 11th. It was retrograde in Gemini on April 7th, but it was retrograde in Leo. Leo is a fire sign. And Leo, for those of you all who've been getting out and getting some sun, going out walking, you know, getting that vitamin D, which is a hormone. It's not a vitamin, it's a hormone. And really getting that balance, right? Really getting that balance. Your confidence level and the way you communicate in love was increased during that time. And so, no, you're not going back to, you know, that would be like putting on a mask, pretending that something wasn't crossed. So somebody does have a partnership coming across. This is a energy coming across. So journal your journey, right? Open your vault door. This is the next phase of your life. It's you versus you, right? No one else. No, but I'm telling y'all, I can't reiterate this enough, Aquarius. Nobody has any competition. Nobody. Everybody's ancestors, you know, gave each one of us gifts. Source gave each one of us a purpose. You know what nurtures you and you know what doesn't nurture you. So whoever's opening a storefront, guess what? Speak life over your storefront. People can sit there and be naysayers all day long. That store is going to be successful if you want it to be. Just stop linking up with these woe is me, speaking death over your situation. Keep those energies out of your, just keep them away from you. Family members or whoever. Somebody wants to call you but they haven't changed, blocked. Yeah, drink more water as a form of self-care. Learn how to recall your energy. At what age did your parents work on their shadow self, and at what age did you work